Welcome back to Grover C. Redford Gymnasium on the campus of Missouri Valley College. Time for the men's game as the Vikings will take on the Graceland Yellow Jackets. These two teams met back in November with the Yellow Jackets winning by the score of 99-77. The Vikings come in 8-7 in conference play. The Yellow Jackets trying to get one of those top 4 spots in the conference tournament. They come in under Coach Craig Doty with a record of 10-6. And Joe, this Graceland team scores 86 points a game. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they are a good team, and I think probably a couple weeks ago they were the hottest team in the conference. They've cooled off a little bit since then. They lost the other night in Springfield to Evangel, 104-95, in what sounds like kind of an NBA game. But, if the Vikings want to stay as one of the top contenders in the conference, they need to take care of home court. And it's going to be a tough game today, but a game that if they play well, they could, very easily win. Not easily win, but could very well win.
Joe had a chance to visit with their coach, Craig Doty.
Okay, chatting now with Graceland's men coach, Craig Doty. Coach, your first year as head coach, and boy, you guys having a good year. You're 10-6 in conference play, and we're here a couple of weeks ago, probably the hottest team in the conference.
Yeah, we just look back on the numbers. We were tied for first with William Penn and Grandview 9 games into the conference season. Unfortunately, we haven't been playing our best the past couple of weeks, and it's just part of the conference grind, if you will. I don't like to use that word, but this league playing 26 conference games, it's very difficult, and you're going to be well prepared for every single night, and there's no nights off, and we found ourselves early. We were proud of that, and now we're going to find ourselves again. But we do have a good group. We like our guys, and we're establishing a foundation as we build for the future.
One thing impresses me about your team, I haven't seen you play. We missed the game. You won by over 20 when you played Valley up in Lamona. You've got 6 players averaging in double figures, and a 7th player averaging 9.7. So it looks like your guys really spreading the ball around well on offense.
Yeah, we got a lot of offensive firepower. And that bodes well for us on that end of the floor. Now, if we play defense like we did against Evangel here last game, then we'll get torched for 104 points. So I think our issues that we have lie on the defensive end of the floor, and it's not an issue where we can't guard. It's just that we don't do it consistently. But yes, we do like the fact that we have 6 in double figures. It was 7 in double figures for many weeks, and we got a lot of offensive ammo. That's tough to prepare for.
Big game today, like we said. You're 10-6, Missouri Valley 8-7. Both of you battling for one of the top spots in the conference race.
Yeah, I mean we're trying to leverage ourselves. We're nationally ranked 24. We expect to lose that national ranking with the past couple weeks, not just not taking care of business like we needed to. But it's a must-win for us to maintain at that 3rd and 4th place spot. Missouri Valley, otherwise, will be crawling up that direction as well. So it should be a really good game, and we look forward to the opportunity and the challenge.
All right, so there you've heard from Craig Doty. He's the head coach of the Yellow Jackets. Now let's find out what the head coach of the Vikings has to say about today's game.
Chad Lance Jones was before this ball game. Coach, we didn't get to see the Graceland game. It was one of those early season conference games, but always tough at their place. They got you pretty good.
Yeah, they did. It's one of those games where I thought the first 8 minutes of the game we kind of were holding court a little bit, and then their speed kicked in, and they're really deep, so they play a lot of different guys, so they can wear you down in a couple of different areas, and they've got a lot of guards that can really shoot it from outside. So when you think you're doing good on one, then somebody else steps up and hits you.
Well, your ball club's coming off a tough 3-point overtime loss in Cedar Rapids after a nice win at Culver, but again with a short lineup and with a short bench, we talked the other day. There's just not much room for mistakes.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, and we know that as a staff and as a team. So we keep grinding and talk about different emphases each and every day. So hopefully we can clean up a few of those. And when you're small, you're small. I mean, you can play hard and you can fight as long as you possibly can. But at the end of the day, some size sometimes wears you down.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups. First of all, for the Yellow Jackets, they'll go with Carl Martin, a 6'4" senior at the point. Ben Greigel, a 6'6" senior, averages 11.4. Jeremy Deemer, a 6'8" junior, 7.1 rebounds per game. Frank Semino and Dylan Martin. Those are the starters for the Yellow Jackets. 10-6 in conference play, 13-7 overall. The Vikings will go with Brody Gronwald, their leading scorer, 14.5 a game. Kyle Hickey coming out in that starting lineup, 6'4" junior. Remy Price will be starting. Tim Washington not starting today. Daryl Lemire is out there, and also Bobby Collins in the starting lineup. Big thanks to Marshall Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram for providing transportation for Joe and I when we're on the road covering Missouri Valley athletic events, and we are underway. And the Yellow Jackets have the basketball. They go to the top of the key to Greigel, and he knocks down a shot. It's quickly 2-0.
Boy, they really wanted to get the ball inside and did a good job. The big guy, Greigel, got it on the low block and went right to the glass that time.
So the Vikings trail 2-0. Here's a shot, no good. Then we'll have a tie ball on the very first possession as Daryl Lemire battling for possession under there along with Greigel, and the Vikings will have it. Remy Price will inbound the ball. Price throws it way out high for Brody Gronwald. Brody.
Looks like Graceland starting out in the zone. Looks like a 2-3 zone.
Well, maybe they're going to force the Vikings to take a couple of outside shots here. Hickey on the right wing. Free throw line. Collins, he'll put up the shot just as the shot clock buzzer sounds. The shot is missed, and the rebound pulled down by Samino. And a quick foul, and that's on Daryl Lemire.
Ken, I don't know who you key on this Graceland team. Davis, 17.1 points a game. Martin, 12.1. Greigel, 11.4. Williams and Deemer both 10.8. Semino, 10.3. And Nelson, 9.7. So pretty good balanced scoring.
It is a real good balanced scoring team. Greigel with a basketball now works it off to Martin. Now they're working again underneath. Good spin move, reverse layup. Nice move by Jeremy Deemer. And it's quickly 4-0 Yellow Jackets. They put on some pressure in the backcourt. Now Gronwald comes to get it. He'll give it off to Remy Price. Remy had a big game offensively in the 104-101 overtime loss Wednesday night at Mount Mercy. Daryl Lemire, top of the key, swings it into the corner. Now they'll get down low to Collins. Bobby back out front, good ball movement. Hickey drives left baseline. Underneath to Collins for the jam. Nice ball movement. Hickey got it to Collins. He went up and slammed it. 6'3". He has some hops.
Flat-footed. He went up and flushed that one.
Here's the outside shot, and that is buried by Greigel. A three-pointer by Ben Greigel, and it's 7-2. Remy Price off to Hickey. Back it comes to Price. He'll drive in. Try to throw a pass into the corner to Gronwald. It's tipped into the end of the bench. So the Vikings will trigger it in. Off to Remy Price. Price to Hickey on the right wing. Underneath, Collins spins. His 7-footer good. And Bobby Collins taking it right at the big guys, and he has 4 points.
Yeah, you don't think of Bobby as a postman, but he's had a couple nice moves on the inside here to get the Vikings' first 2 baskets.
So it's 7-4. Free throw line, and there's a travel as Deemer went up in the air, thought he got rid of the ball before that toe touched at the free throw line. It did not, and that is going to be a traveling call, and the Vikings get it back.
He says, you can't call that. I didn't mean to do it.
I didn't mean to do it. I tried to get back down. Here's Price at the top of the key, one of the quicker guards in the league, no question. Gronwald stops. His little jumper from about 13 on the right side is no good. And the Yellow Jackets quickly the other way. Carl Martin has the basketball, free throw line. He'll give it back out. Another long three on the way. This one won't go. Offensive rebound and a foul as Deemer got the rebound and someone came over the back to foul him. And that's Kyle Hickey picking up the foul.
I'll tell you, Deemer stands at 6'8". He's a junior from right there in Lamona, Iowa. Looks like a very physical body around that basket.
And he'll go to the free throw line. The Vikings are going to have to find a way to keep these big guys off the glass. Free throw by Deemer is good.
He's got 3, Greigel 5, so they've got all 8 Graceland points so far.
Here's Deemer. Second free throw is no good. Rebound comes down to Lemire. So the Vikings with the basketball, trailing 8-4. Hickey Kicks it out front for Gronwald. Now to Price. Price top of the key. Back it comes to Hickey. They'll try to go inside to Collins. Stacked away. And taken by Martin. Martin quickly into the forecourt. Didn't like the numbers. She'll bring it back out. Long pass in front of the Viking bench. Now they're fired into the corner. And here's about a 7-footer put up. And that's in. That's Frank Cimino. So Cimino gets his first bucket. 10.3 a game. He had a big game the last time these two teams met. It's now 10-4, Yellow Jackets with the lead. They look pretty good in the early going.
Again, obviously the Jackets are going to make the Vikings shoot outside. They're playing that 2-3 zone. They're packing it in pretty good. So let's see if we can bust a couple out in the perimeter.
Hickey, free throw line, turns, 15-footer. It won't go. And one shot and you're done there as Greigel with a rebound. Greigel to Martin. Here comes Martin underneath. The Vikings don't run the floor, and Deemer beats everybody down court. Lays it in. He has 5, and just like that, it is a 12-4 ball game. The Yellow Jackets with a lead. Timeout taken by the Vikings, and Tim Washington ready to come in.
Well, the Vikings got to get in rhythm on offense. Those 2 baskets by Bobby Collins, one on the slam dunk, one a short turnaround jumper inside. But I tell you, got to keep Deemer and Greigel, both pretty good-sized guys, and both roam around pretty well in that middle, and so you got to know where they are, keep a body on them.
Good timeout, 12-4. And like I said, this Yellow Jacket team can score 86 points a game, 82 for the Vikings. In the last time they met, it was 99-77, and Cimino had 22 points. Deemer had 17. The Yellow Jackets had 5 players in double figures the first time. Collins will inbound to Price. Price back to Collins, now to Price. 15:56 to go. Double team him. Gets it to Lemire. Off to Tim Washington, who didn't start tonight, but he's in the ball game right now. Here's Price. Oh, he is hit hard. Double team. Went up the shot. They got ball and a foul, so Remy will shoot a couple of free throws.
Yeah, Remy went up strong that time. If he hadn't gone up strong, that'd probably been a good block, but he did go up strong, and they're going to put him on the line for a couple right here.
They're going to say that Carl Martin picked up the foul, his first.
Carl out of Blue Springs. I think this is the 3rd year he started for this team, I believe.
Where's number 10 on his jersey? First free throw by Price. Remy is good.
Last game we saw, what a game Remy Price had against Peru State. Almost single-handedly brought the Vikings back. They lost by 2 that night.
And he had a layup that just hung on the rim, wouldn't drop in the last couple of seconds. He hits the first 2 free throws. It's 12-6. 15-14 to go in this first half. Cimino had the basketball, gets it back on the wing, holds it high over his head, goes to the high post, back to Cimino. Good ball movement. The Vikings chase defensively. Cimino into the corner. Now goes inside. They drop it right down low to the big guy, Deemer, and he's fouled. Well, you know what the Graceland Yellow Jacket plan is. They're looking and they're saying Deemer's at 6'8", Greigel 6'6", pound the ball inside.
Well, Deemer doesn't look, he's not a 6'8", thin player. He looks like a football tight end. I mean, he's a very well put together young man.
Tim Washington picked up the foul, his first. And free throw is good by Deemer. That's 6 points for Deemer. He'll have one more free throw. 15:26 to go in the first half. Lady Vikings won the game, but Deemer with off to a good start now, 7 points. 14-6. Vikings trail by 8. Once again, the pressure put on by the Yellow Jackets. Now they'll back away. Price top of the key, off to Gronwald. Brody inside the lane to Collins. He can't hang on to the pass. Off his shoulder, and Martin picks it up. On the run, Martin the other way for the Yellow Jackets. Cimino. Obadeki ready to come in. Cimino from the corner won't go. Fight for the rebound inside. Washington tips it away. Now Lemire jumps over Martin, gives it off to Price. Layup good as they run the break. That time, Lemire hurdled one of the Yellow Jackets lying on the floor, and then got it off to Price for the layup.
We talk about his athleticism all the time.
Another pass inside. The Vikings have no answer for Jeremy Deemer. They just lob it over the top, and he lays it off the glass, 16-8.
He got 9 points already.
Back to Gronwald. Brody right side. Into the corner to Collins. Collins back to Brody. Gronwald will hold it. Give it off to Remy Price. 14:24 to go in the first half. Remy slashes inside. His little roller is good, and Remy Price has 6. 16-10. Carl Martin the other way. Leaves it off for Martin. That is Dylan Martin. High post. Back to Semino. Martin in the corner. He'll launch a three. He'll hit a three right in front of the Viking bench.
Wow.
That's Dylan Martin's first bucket, and it's 19-10. This team looks well-oiled.
Yeah, they do so far.
Wow.
19 points in the first 6 minutes of the game.
They're doing anything they want to do right now. Here's Collins. Bobby going to take it right down the middle. His little teardrop goes in.
Boy, Bobby, I tell you, Bobby's not very big, but he's going right at the big guys in the middle. He's got 6 of the 12 Viking points.
19-12, 13:39 to go. First half, man-to-man defense by the Vikings. They trail 19-12. High post pass goes to Greigel. Greigel holds it high over his head, fires it on the baseline of Martin. That's Dylan Martin. Back it comes to Greigel. Simone. Martin, his three good, and that's Carl Martin who buries a three. The same spot as Dylan Martin hit one in front of the Viking bench. It's 22-12.
That's the third triple by Graceland already.
Washington in the corner, Gronwald. He's open for a high-arching three. This one spins in and out. Rebound, Deemer. Deemer off to Carl Martin. Martin on the run. Dylan Martin all the way to the basket. Ball knocked away at the last moment. It's off of his elbow.
Good play by Remy Price. Remy somehow got a hand in and not only blocked the ball, but banked it off the elbow of Dylan Martin that time. So good play by play that probably only Remy Price could make.
Jordan Dembley, R.J. Williams come in for the Yellow Jackets, and Obaneki. Chisholm comes in for the Vikings. Chisholm Obaneki. Lemire off to Gronwald, now to Remy Price. 12:46 to go in the half. Vikes down by 10 at home. Here's Lemire in the lane. Here's teardrop won't go. Ball being batted around, and it comes down to Jordan Dembley. Dembley gives it off to Williams. Back to Dembley. Now to Martin. Martin hands it to Davis. Here's a shot inside, won't go. Again, an offensive rebound. This one is blocked by Obaneki. Deemer had a block by Obaneki. Washington all the way to the rack. He gets it underneath to Obaneki. He loses the handle on it. It's picked up in the lane by Deemer. Long pass ahead to Williams. He'll float one in from about 7. And another timeout taken by the Vikings. Joe, right now, I don't know if there's anything the Vikings are doing wrong. This Yellow Jacket team, they got off the bus shooting, and they are rolling right now.
Well, you know, Ken, and one thing we talked about, if there's an Achilles heel on this Viking team, it's they're not very big. And, you know, lost some of our big guys at semester, and that's what Graceland's taking advantage of right now, kind of pounding the ball inside. So now the Vikes are trying to compensate for that and kind of sink back in the middle, and they're banging some shots in from the outside. So, yeah, and, you know, and you talked about L.T. Davis. He just checked into the lineup. He's the leading scorer on this team, averaging 17.1 points a game. He didn't start, but he's out there right now.
This team is rolling right now. There's no question about it. And that's the second time out taken by Chad as he's trying to find an answer right now to these big guys and give the Yellow Jackets credit. They're not dumb. They looked at the lineup and they said, let's go inside to our big guy. And right now it's working. Yellow Jackets, Joe, are shooting 69%. 9 out of 13. The Vikings 5 out of 11. The Yellow Jackets 3 out of 5 from beyond the arc. And 7-4 rebounds right now. So they're going inside where they want to go. Deemer has 11 points. They have him. I had him with 9, but they have him with 11. I think I gave the first basket to Greigel.
That was Deemer.
And that was Deemer.
Okay,
so
right.
Greigel has 3 points right now and 11 points for Deemer.
Well, you know, in the Vikings, all their points inside so far, and Graceland really giving the Vikes the outside shot. That's what they want Missouri Valley to do, to take those outside shots, play in that 2-3 zone.
And the Vikings have the basketball. Here's a shot, no good. Rebound is taken down by Davis. That's Dylan Martin. And he'll give it off to Dembley. Out front to Davis. This is a good-looking basketball team. Dembley, baseline. We didn't see him the first time on November the 19th. Now the ball taken away by Hickey. 1-on-2. Here comes Hickey. He's going to split the defenders. Give it off to Obaneki. Slides down the lane. And he is fouled as he puts up the shot.
Yeah, good play by Kyle Hickey. Kyle kind of sat back in the passing lane that time, anticipated, looked like a defensive back making a break on a forward pass, and got in the lane, got the steal, got it ahead to Chisholm, and he'll be on the line for 2.
And the foul is on R.J. Williams, his second team foul.
Need these right here.
Obaneki at the free throw line.
Coach Chad Lance yelling out energy, and you've got to play high energy against this bunch, it looks like.
Free throw no good by Obaneki. The Vikings are 2 out of 3 from the line.
Now it looks like Greigel going to come back into the lineup, and Deemer's going to take a seat.
Boy, Deemer's been a force, 11 points early on. And Cimino also comes back in.
Cimino comes in. Dylan Martin sits down. Dylan Martin, Carl Martin, I believe, both started last year on this team.
Obaneki missed the first free throw, misses the second one. So 0 for 2. It's a 12-point deficit facing the Vikings, and the Yellow Jackets have the ball. At the top of the key, it's Dembley. They look down low. Good job by Vikings. A very good job by Gronwald to knock it away. He thought it went off Dembley out of bounds. The official ruled the other way. No, I guess the official did agree now, and they're going to give the Vikings the ball. Good defense by Gronwald. Brody hadn't scored yet. Hickey is yet to score. All right, here's that pressure in the backcourt. Price works right in front of us. They trap him in the corner, fires it all the way across to the left side to Washington. Back it comes to Price. Price top of the key. Stops the dribble off to Washington in the corner to Gronwald. Underneath Obaneki. He has the ball slapped away. The quick hands in there. Knock it away. And here comes Williams the other way for the Yellow Jackets. Top of the key. Spin move in the lane. Little teardrop up. No good. Tipped in, however, by Williams. First shot was missed by Greigel, and Williams there to tip it in.
Yeah, they're very big and very athletic around that basket.
Here's Remy Price, top of the key. 10:35 to go in the first half, and it's all Graceland right now. Tim Washington will try a three. It's off the front of the rim. Rebound pulled down by Davis. Here he comes, 1-on-2, all the way to the rack with the left hand, scores. He just went 1-on-3 and scored. Did Davis coming off the bench?
This team has 28 points, and we're not even halfway through the first half yet.
They are on a roll right now, shooting 66%. Here's Price, top of the key to Tim Washington. Back it comes to Price. Works the right side. Skip pass all the way across to Washington. Top of the key to Hickey. Back to Price. Drives right side. Nowhere to go. Shot clock at 7. Hickey, top of the key. Gronwald underneath. Obaneki down. They get it to Washington. He lays it in. Obaneki to Washington, driving the baseline with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Everybody in the gym thought Chisholm Obaneki was going to shoot. He made a great pass to Tim Washington, cutting down the baseline. Good ball movement by the Vikings.
And here's an outside shot up and good. That's a three by Cimino, and he has 5 points. It's 31-14.
31 points. We're basically at the end of the first quarter right now.
Washington for three. Can't hit it. Obaneki rebounds, takes it to the rack, tried to slam it, missed it. Hit the front of the rim.
Gotta hit that shot, guys. Come on.
I've always been told if you're going to slam it, make sure you make it.
That's right. Exactly.
Or lay it in one way or the other. He hit the front of the rim, tried to slam that follow. So here come the Yellow Jackets with a big early lead on the road. Davis. Vikings in a man-to-man. Tembley through a double team into the corner. This shot is an air ball taken by Williams. Rebound Washington. Washington on the run. Gives it to Hickey out front to Gronwald. Brody's got to
shoot that three.
Now to Price. Remy nowhere to go with it. Brody's going to take a long, high arching three. It's short. Rebound tipped out to Gronwald. Now to Obaneki, and he traveled. Or there's a foul. They're going to call the foul. One official was going to call travel, and the other official called the foul.
The question, did the foul occur before the travel? Both happened, and they're going to say the foul happened first. So now the Vikings are arguing that the basket went in.
I think it did. Yeah. If it went in, the basket is
good.
They
count it. So Obaneki a chance for the three-point play. And that foul, I think, is going to come up. That's on R.J. Williams. That's his second foul.
Second on Williams. So the basket goes to Obaneki. 31-16. Vikings shooting just 35%.
Now they wave off. I think they just waved off the basket.
It went in. The ball went in.
I don't know what one official. I think they need to kind of get together here and see what.
Oh, they say the shot's not going to count. I thought the ball went in.
I thought it did. They're giving him. I think they signaled 2 shots. They're giving him 2 shots. So see what happens here.
Referee asked Chad if he wanted an explanation. He said, "No, I'm good with it." So
Chad says, "I don't want to hear what you had to say. I saw it."
So no basket, but 2 free throws. Okay, and the first one is good. by Obanecki. He's now 1 out of 3 from the line. Yeah, I don't need an explanation. I saw it go in. Second free throw is good, so Obanecki gets his 2 points.
These guys do a good job,
Yeah.
though. They're a good officiating
part,
crew, and
yes, they
you
do.
know, this game, I guarantee you, I would bet it'll be well officiated.
31-14 is our score. Yellow Jackets with the lead, 8:26 to go. Ooh, and dribbling the ball out of bounds was L.T. Davis right in front of us. That ball hit the orange, and that is a violation.
Hit about 2 inches of orange right in front of us, and that's a no-no.
So the Vikings force a turnover and get it back. Price off to Gronwald. Gronwald right side in the corner to Hickey. Back to Price. 8:16 to go in the half. Gronwald to Price. Price all the way through. Gives it now to Collins. Wow. He loses the ball. Picked up by Dylan Martin.
A lot of contact there.
Martin to Davis. LT
Oh,
into the
good steal.
forecourt. Taken away by Hickey. Here comes Hickey. One-on-one with Davis. Takes it all the way to the rack. Puts up the shot. It won't go, but fouled by LT Davis.
Yeah, good strong take that time by Hickey. Almost got the three-point play, but it rolled off the rim. But Kyle, on the line for 2 shots. And of course, Kyle Hickey's a junior out of Fort Worth, Texas.
And Kyle, a big part of that team that went to the national tournament a couple of years ago. First free throw is good. His first point by Hickey.
Yeah, Tim Washington will come out.
Yep, Tim did not start the game. Played a couple minutes. He's back on the bench now. Very short bench.
Lemire, Grodwald, Collins, Price, and Hickey, the 5 on the floor right now as Kyle buries both free throws.
31-18, back within 13, 7:56 to go. You just have to weather the storm. No, they're not going to shoot 70% the entire game, you don't think. Here's the lob underneath, and once again, the Vikings have no answer for Deemer. He has 13 points.
And they just lob right over the top that time. He's physical enough and tall enough. He's just kind of having his way in there right now.
Well, he's 6'8", and Collins is 6'3". They just lob it over the top. Nothing Bobby can do about it. Here's Price working right side. Goes baseline to Hickey. Hickey, double team. Gronwald, top of the key. Lemire, he's going to step inside the three-point line and hit an 18-footer.
Good shot. Good look that time by Darrell. Good ball movement. Darrell buried the jumper.
33-20, back to a 13-point game with 7:13 to go in the first half. Cimino, top of the key. Off to Martin. Dylan Martin goes baseline. Back to Cimino. Little weave at the free throw line. Right side. Gets it back. Drives inside the lane. Here's a long 3 on the way. This one off the rim. No good. Ball tipped out of the lane, and it comes back to the Yellow Jackets, and they get it inside.
Deemer.
And Deemer again has 15 first half points, 35-20.
And he hasn't shot more than 6 inches away from the basket yet.
That shot chart for the Yellow Jackets, there's a lot of red shots inside that lane. Long 3, good by Hickey as he buries one from the left side. He has 5, it's 35-23. 6:25 to go in the half. Back and forth we go. Martin, Dylan Martin. Trying to drive inside was Cimino, nowhere to go. Kicks it back top of the key to Greigel. Greigel hands it off to Dembley. Dembley around a screen. Takes it left side, tries to force his way in, and they say he picked up the dribble. They're going to say, I used to call it palming the basketball, but that is a carried the ball, and that is a turnover.
Yeah, see the Vikes quietly climbing back in this thing. They've got it down to 12, 6 minutes left. If they can knock down a tray here and make this a single-digit game.
Gronwald hasn't scored yet. Maybe he's the answer to that. Price, top of the key, off to Collins. Now to Lemire. Darrell back to Price, 16 on the shot clock, 5:47 first half. Here's Gronwald, free throw line, 15-footer, can't hit it. Collins fights for the rebound, knocks it in the corner. Lemire saves it, goes over the bench of the Yellow Jackets. Ball loose on the floor, picked up by Hickey.
Good hustle by Bobby Collins to keep that possession alive.
Gronwald to Hickey, another 3, good, and Kyle Hickey, 2 threes in a row. He now has 8. The Vikes back within 9, 35-26.
I think as he scored the last 8 Viking points, I think he has, yep.
35-26. The Vikings right back in this one with 5:14 to go in the half. Tembley, top of the key.
Good hustle. Good job by Kyle to knock that one out of bounds.
Tried to go to Martin, and Kyle got a hand out, knocked it out on the far side.
Coach Chad Lance keeps yelling energy, energy, and I think the Vikings playing at a pretty fast pace right now. They've stepped it up here.
Jacoby Cochran will come in. Dylan Martin works baseline, puts up with a left hand and scored. He went baseline over Gronwald with a left hand, and Brody just had a look on his face like, are you kidding me? But it worked.
A lot of weapons on this team.
37-26, 4:48 to go. Here's Hickey. Last 8 points scored for the Vikings are by number 4. Now Price gets inside the lane, gives it off to Darryl Lemire, and he drives to the right side and lays it in. Good strong move. He has 4. 37-28, 4:31 to go. An offensive battle going on here. Dylan Martin top of the key. After Semino, and as he gets in the lane, Remy Price fouled him. Remy was hoping for a tie-up. Nope, going to get the foul. That's his first team foul, number 4.
Now coming back in for the Yellow Jackets, Carl Martin, the senior out of Blue Springs. He checks, as does L.T. Davis. Davis is a junior out of Rockford, Illinois. Semino comes out, as does Dimbley, excuse me.
Ball belongs to the Yellow Jackets in the corner. 3 by Davis, no good. Vikings, they can't get the rebound. It comes all the way out to Dylan Martin. Now they'll reset with 4:13 to go, leading by 9, 37-28 with the Yellow Jackets.
Craig Doty pretty calm on the bench, but I guess I'd be pretty calm too if my team had scored
right like that. Now they get it inside again, and I think that was Greigel.
That's Greigel, yep.
Greigel gets the bucket. He now has 5, and it's 39-28. Greigel and Deemer inside are just a load. Cochran, he throws it away. Here's Martin all the way to the rack. Layup good, the foul on Cochran.
Wow. What an off-balance shot. The last 2 shots by Dylan Martin had that one with a left hand over Brody Growald a minute ago. That time had Cochran right in his face, off balance, somehow flipped it off the glass and in and got fouled.
So it is 41-28, 3:48 to go in the first half. At halftime, we're going to give you the scoring, and then we're going to talk a little rodeo. Free throw is no good by Dylan Martin. That's about the only thing he's done wrong. 41-28, 13-point lead, 3:42 to go. Jacoby Cochran, top of the key. Leaves it off to Lemire, back to Cochran. Swings it to the right side to Hickey against this zone defense. Cochran's going to launch a line drive 3 that won't go. Rebound, Greigel. And ball knocked off of Deemer, I believe. And the Vikings are going to get it back in backcourt. Good hustle to get the ball back.
Will Nelson checks in for the first time for Graceland.
He's not singing on the road again, is he?
It's Will.
I saw that first. I said, Willie Nelson.
Tim Washington back to the Vikings. We'll watch him, see if he strums a little on the road again.
Yeah, all right. Let's see how
Blue eyes crying in the rain.
Doesn't quite look like the Willie Nelson we are.
Moving a little faster, and I've seen Willie move, too.
Gronwald, Hickey, Washington. Nice pass underneath to Collins. He misses the layup, but Hickey's there to follow it in. Kyle Hickey had quite a first half, 41-30.
I think he scored the last 10 Viking points, Ken, I believe.
3 minutes to go in the half, 41-30. Here's Davis. Greigel, top of the key. Vikings in a man-to-man defense. Carl Martin, the top of the circle with the right-handed dribble. 2:52 to go, 12 on the shot clock. Here's the shot from the top of the key. This off the rim, no good. That one, Greigel missed that one. Gronwald with a rebound. Quickly ahead to Hickey. Hickey working the left side, out front to Washington. Now it comes back to Gronwald, off to Washington. 2:34 to go in the half. Vikings down by 11. Cochran got trapped on the baseline.
Good job.
Gets it out to Washington. Long 3 is short. And the rebound pulled down by Dylan Martin. Martin the other way. Timeout taken by the Yellow Jackets. 41-30. Fast-paced action. 2:20 to go. We have all the women's scores now, so we'll pass those along to you while we have just a moment here. Good, we go right back at it Monday night, but here we go as far as the women's are concerned. It was Benedictine over Clark, 67-62. Baker beat William Penn, 71-67. Those teams remained tied.
That sounds like a pretty good game there.
Evangel over Mount Mercy, 63-46. Grandview beat Culver Stockton, 76-62. Central Methodist over Avila, 78-63, and this one surprised me. Peru stayed at home, knocked off Mid-American Nazarene, 66-62.
Boy, and Mid-America just really kind of struggling right now, but I guess so then with the Vikings win, they move to 6-10. They pull up into a tie with both Culver, Stockton, and Mount Mercy.
So the Vikings will be right there. 2 men's games already in, and that's Benedictine over Clark, 67-63.
Yeah.
There's
what
that
else? What else? You know,
and Mount Mercy over Evangel in Springfield today, 76-63.
Mount Mercy really playing well.
Yeah.
I think both they and Benedictine are 12-5 right now.
Both playing really well. 2 minutes to go here, 41-30. Yellow Jackets have led throughout. Dylan Martin gives it off to Will Nelson. Nelson out front to Dembley. Dembley holds with 7 on the shot clock, 2 minutes on the game clock. Here's Dembley off to Martin, baseline, Dylan Martin. Back it comes to Carl Martin down the lane. He flips it up, and was it fouled or it's a shot clock violation?
A shot clock, I think.
Carl Martin tried to flip up that shot, didn't hit rim, shot clock violation.
Good defense by the Vikings that time.
Here's Gronwald. Off it comes to Washington, drives in left side.
Oh.
Can't get it to climb over the lip of the rim, but he'll shoot 2.
And I mean, Deemer gave him a big-time hack that time, and Tim almost pumped that one up and in.
Deemer picked up the foul.
He'd been pushing, banging around all half in there, and that's his first foul.
First free throw good by Tim Washington. He has 3 points now.
So he'd really been playing well, Deemer.
What the Vikings want to do is just kind of hang around, maintain this thing, and then getting single digits at the half and then work on the second half. Washington hits both free throws. There you go, 41-32, a minute 46 to go. Carl Martin with the basketball. Working against Price. Out to Dylan Martin, inside the lane, all the way with the left hand. This one won't climb over the lip of the rim. Washington with a good, strong rebound. Washington lead the break. Gronwald, long 3, won't go. Ball being tipped around underneath. Hickey had it. Washington rips it out of there and comes out of the pack with it. Now around to Remy Price. He'll drive left side, go underneath, lose the ball. Collins picks it up. Collins inside, 14-footer, just inside the free throw line. Shot no good. Remy Price saves it in the corner. And now he gets it off the leg of Dylan Martin. Vikings get it back.
Vikes really hustling right now. I mean, they got 3 shots that time, really banged that offensive glass hard. Now Semino comes back in for Graceland. L.T. Davis, and also coming in for the first time, Warren Goulburn.
Goulburn, that's the first time we've seen him. He's a big dude, 6'6".
Bragel comes back in.
Wow, they have some beef out there, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
All right, Vikings will have it with a minute 6 to go, 41-32.
Goulburn looks like a football tight end, too.
In it comes to Hickey. Hickey.
Got to get Brody hot.
To Gronwald. Hickey now inside to Collins. Collins kicks it back out to Washington. Down the middle, right side. Collins throws one up, no good. Rebound is taken down by the Yellow Jackets. That's the big guy, Deemer, with it. Under a minute to go. Davis all the way to the rack, flips up a shot, and he traveled. That was just completely out of control.
Yeah, he tried. L.T. Davis tried to force it that time, tried to go right through a double team, completely off balance, and I think that was a good call.
So the Vikings get it back, 44 seconds to go in the half. Gronwald, Brody nowhere to go with it. Hickey in the corner. Back it comes to Price. He'll drive inside the lane. Kick it out to Washington. His 3 on the way. No, too strong. Rebound. Collins over the top. And he traveled.
Yeah.
Boy, he went way up to get that rebound.
Yeah, he did. You know, and I think of the Vikings down by 9 right now. If we could somehow close this out and get down to about 6 or 7, that'd be quite a feather in the Vikings' cap. The boy Graceland just has shot the eyes out of the bucket. I know they've cooled off a little bit right now, but boy, they've had a good first half offensively.
They have had a great first half. We'll go over the scoring quickly at the half, and then we're going to visit with Tim O'Connell, a world champion, MBC graduate, world champion bareback rider. So we'll talk to Tim at the half as well. 41-32. Here's L.T. Davis into the forecourt. Let's see if the Yellow Jackets work for that last shot. Davis bumping against Remy Price. Got a couple of sumo wrestlers out there.
LT, I don't think you want to mess with him. He's pretty quick.
Davis again, down to 9 on the shot clock, on the game clock. Give it off now. There's a pass underneath. The ball hits the rim. The Vikings have one last shot. Here's Collins with 2 seconds to go. Throws it up about half court. It's short. 41-32, but the Vikings did not let the Yellow Jackets get on another shot. 41-32.
Yeah, Bobby thought he was fouled there, but Greigel, 6'6", just kind of went up, put a hand right up in the face. So Good comeback by the Vikings, though. Let's see, what Graceland, they scored something like 58 points in the first 10 minutes of the half, or excuse me, 28 points in the first 10 minutes and held only 13 the second 10. So the Vikings really stepped it up on the defensive end.
We'll be back with the scoring and a visit with Tim O'Connell in 1 minute.
Peekaboo, peekaboo, smile.
Smile, buddy.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy. You know how boys are.
Or maybe he's teething. Oh, poor baby. I think his gums hurt.
Maybe he's just tired.
Or maybe his tummy hurts. He didn't eat that much.
Maybe he's not ticklish.
You think maybe he's scared of the dog?
Maybe he'll outgrow it. Maybe it's a phase. Maybe he just doesn't like smiling.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs or see a doctor today for an autism screening. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better. And it can make a lifetime of difference. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
The score at the half is 41-32. The Yellow Jackets with the lead. Joe, let's take a look at that first half scoring.
Well, first of all, for the Vikings, Kyle Hickey. I think Kyle scored 10 points in a row for Missouri Valley midway through that half. Kyle winds up with 10 points in the first half. 2 triples, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. He's the only player in double figures for Missouri Valley. 6 points in the first half each for Remy Price and Bobby Collins. Bobby got the Vikes going early on. 4 points for Darrell Lemire, also for Tim Washington. And then it looks like 2 points for Chisholm Obanecki. I think one thing, Brody Gronwald, 0 for 5 from the floor, 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. Got to get Brody scoring. Did not score in the first half. For the Graceland Yellow Jackets, big story in the game, Jeremy Deemer. 6 out of 8, but those were all point-blank layups. They were contested, some of them, but he was right in around that basket. He went to go 6 out of 8. He was also 3 out of 4 from the free throw line, so Deemer winds up with 15 points. Then it drops down to 7 by Dylan Martin, 5 each for Ben Greigel, and also Frank Semino. 4 points, 7 points for Dylan Martin. I think maybe I forgot him. 5 points for Greigel and Semino. Looks like 4 points for R.J. Williams off the bench. 3 points for Carl Martin out of Blue Springs. And 2 points for L.T. Davis. He's the leading scorer on this team, averaging 17 points a game. But the Vikings do a good job holding him to only 2 in the first half.
But the Yellow Jackets, 17 out of 27, 63% from the field.
Yep.
Vikings, 36%, 11 out of 31. Valley only 2 out of 11 from beyond the arc, 18%. And Graceland 40%. So that's where we stand right now as the Yellow Jackets lead at 41-32. I had a chance earlier this week to visit with Tim O'Connell. He is a young man from Iowa, Missouri Valley College public relations grad, and he is the world champion bareback rider. He won that title in Las Vegas in December. We sat down earlier this week.
My guest is world champion bareback cowboy Tim O'Connell, who now lives in Marshall. And Tim, thanks for coming on with us. How's that sound? World champion bareback rider.
It sounds pretty good. It really never ever hit me until I was in Denver last week, and they announced me as the world champion when I was getting on, and I really like the ring to that. I think it rolls right off the tongue right.
I think it does, too. Tim also is a Missouri Valley College graduate. He and his wife, Sammy, live in Marshall now. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But let's go back to the finals. In Las Vegas, 10 days in December. You went in ranked number 1. Tell me about that 10-day period. What happened? You came out as the champion, but talk a little bit about the competition.
So the Wrangler National Finals is it's a competition that, you know, when you're in rodeo, it's a dream of yours just to qualify. It's only the top 15 in the world that get to compete there, and, you know, to be in the top 15 in the world in the PRCA, it's you have to be the top 15 money earners after September 31st, and after that you have about a 6-week break, and then it's usually the first weekend, the first Thursday after Thanksgiving is when the finals start. And it's a 10 straight day competition you get on every single night. And it's not only the top 15 cowboys, but it's also the top 150 horses in the world, too. And after the 10 days is over, your combined scores will lead to another championship of the rodeo. And it's really the hardest rodeo to win because not all of us, I mean, you don't rodeo for 10 days straight, usually ever, on that kind of caliber of animals day in and day out either. I mean, it takes a physical toll on your body out there.
And you came out of it as you went in number one, you came out number one, and also, real important, money-wise, you won more money, correct, this past year than anyone in your sport?
Yeah, you know, our finals the last few years, you know, I've qualified for the NFR 3 times now, and, you know, I knew, you know, physically what I needed to be at getting there. You know, the first year I went there, I thought I was in the shape I needed to be, and I found out the hard way I was not physically prepared or, you know, and mentally prepared. You know, after things started going wrong, I started fighting my head out there, and I had a good first finals, and I learned a lot. Then, you know, the second year I learned a lot, even more how to prepare, and then this year I really prepared for what I needed to do, and, you know, and I took that through the full year. And I had about a $40,000 lead on the second place guy going into the finals. But every day at the finals pays $28,000 to the winner. And then to win over that 10 days is another $67,000 to win the average or the aggregate over the 10 days. So at the end of it, I had won $374,000 for the year, which in our sport, no one's ever won that in a single event. The most ever won by a cowboy in a single event was 319, set last year by the 3-time reigning world champion, Sage Kimsey. So I didn't even know that I did that until it was over, but they said I just shattered that record.
Well, that's fantastic. I guess you have to give some credit to Pat Gingrosso. He's the associate wrestling coach here, and he trains you too, right?
I do. He actually came out there too in round 7 and round 8. He flew out there and surprised me because I mean he puts me through some pretty ridiculous workouts, and I know, like, I think he laughs at it too because I mean he just writes it on the board and I do it because I know at the end of the day he's looking out for my best interest. And I mean, when I was out there, he would always tell me in the workouts, so a real grind that, you know, you just, man, I don't know if I can get through this. This is getting pretty ridiculous. And he would start screaming, you know, this is round 7, this is round 8, this is where you need to start separating yourself from everybody else that's getting tired. And then sure enough, he shows up out there in round 7, round 8 while we were coming into our eliminator rounds again. And he said, this is the time for you to separate. And it was like, it kicked a new fuel into me. It was like you re-energized me out there. And man, I finished it exactly how I wanted to. And, you know, I owe that a lot. He really tuned me up to be ready for that 10 days.
Tim O'Connell, he's a world champion bareback cowboy, Missouri Valley College graduate. He and his wife, Sammy, live in Marshall. Let's get into your background a little bit. You are from the state of Iowa. Coach Mason recruited you to come here. Talk just a little bit about that decision to come to Missouri Valley College.
You know, it's funny. I haven't been riding bucking horses but for like 7 years. I didn't start till I was a senior in high school. And I seen Coach Mason. It was like the first time I ever had a brand new rigging and a brand new glove, and I didn't know how to set it up. And I was at Sydney, Iowa at a pro rodeo. And the thing about, you know, like, we lock ourselves on the backs of these horses. Like, when our hands come around, like, there's no coming out until you kind of just know how to get yourself out. So I ended up having it way too tight, and like, if it's too loose, you come out the back door. If it's too tight, you can't squeeze it, and you still get thrown off out what we call the back door, and they just throw you up, and they usually get a free shot to kick you. And I had a super nice horse, and Coach Mason was there, and he seen me get backdoored on this horse, and I was kind of going in. I had a couple schools recruit me, and one of them was Iowa Central Community College, and I came back to the bucking shoots, and he looked at me, he said, you better go up to Iowa Central and learn how to ride bucking horses before you come down to Missouri Valley. And I think, and I'll never forget that, because it really lit a fire underneath me to be like, you know what, I'm going to show you. And 2 years later, at the college finals, Coach Mason comes up to me, and I had qualified for the college national finals twice at Iowa Central and was an All-American my second year, and he goes, you want to come down to Missouri Valley and rodeo for me? And I reminded him what he said to me at Sydney, so I ended up making him pay for me to come down here.
Good.
So I ended up getting a great scholarship to come down here, and I was blessed enough. I was still kind of raw when I came down here. I was figuring out how to ride bareback horses and spur bareback horses, and Coach Mason is as a master of when it comes to fine-tuning each individual on how their style is, you know, and how he gets people fired up in their own way. Like he's good about figuring out how different people work and what he needs to do to get them to be on their A game. And with me, he just really honed down on me on a few things and really sharpened my skills and made me the bareback rider I am today. And I owe so much to that for him watching me. And he was out at the finals too this year, and that was so great to see him out there. You know, I would work with him. I would work with Pat in the mornings, and I would work with Coach at night with leading up to the finals. You know, I owe so much to Missouri Valley College and him to making me what I am today.
And you met your wife, Sammy, here, and I was talking to her earlier, and I said, you ought to be Tim's manager, because I know that's probably as important as anything else. You met that lovely young lady right on this campus.
I did. I was very blessed to meet my wife here. Marshall's pretty much our new home. You know, we have so many. I mean, we call them friends. I call them family down here now. That we spend so much time with. We've made Marshall our home, and you know, Marshall kind of just took us in. You know, she's 8 hours from her mom and dad, and I'm 6 hours from my mom and dad, and we're just as happy here as we would be anywhere else. So, and you know, she does deal with a lot of stress that people don't see. You know, now that you know, I've accomplished so much in this sport at a young age, you get to realize the other side of rodeo, the stuff that it's not just going and getting on bucking horses anymore. You got to, you know, deal with appearances. You got to, you know, you're in the public's eye now. You know, sponsorship deals. There's just so much stuff that goes into it that, you know, a lot of people aren't prepared for or know really truly how to handle these kind of situations when you've never been put in that. So she's really good about, you know, being my rock and helping me settle down and make the right calls that are not just good for myself, but is good for us as a family now too.
Now, you're a public relations major. You stayed through college and got your degree. I remember you were in a class of mine, and at the time you were participating in professional rodeo. You may have still been rodeoing on a collegiate level, and you were trying to get to class. And you would come up to me and you would say, I'm going to miss class Friday because I'm going to Houston for rodeo. What do I need to do? And we'd tell you, and you'd do your assignments. And then you'd come back Monday. I'd say, Tim, how'd you do? He says, I won $35,000 this weekend. And I realized it's kind of hard to say, no, you can't leave for the weekend. But you could have just said, the heck with this college thing. I'm making enough money, but you didn't. You went ahead and got your degree anyway. And I'm telling you, that was a tough time for you. Not tough time, but a busy time for you, trying to rodeo collegiately, professionally, and also get your college degree. But you stuck with it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. You know, that was something that, you know, when I set a goal for myself, and I tell the young kids that come to my schools, that I produce schools to ride bareback horses now too. You know, there's nothing in this world that can stop you but yourself. There's no one in the world that can tell you no except for yourself. So when I came down here, when Coach Mason invested in me, I wasn't going to let him down. I was going to make sure I got, not only for myself and for him, I was going to be eligible. I was going to get my degree. I wasn't going to waste my time here. And, you know, he recruited me down here to be a national champion. You know, as my senior year came, I finally did get a national championship for the college. And then I realized, you know, like I need to get this degree too. You know, I can't just come through these 2 years. And I had some credits roll in, and I ended up getting hurt in one of the middle years. Mm-hmm. I had tore a collarbone off my sternum. So I made up a year and a half of schoolwork in that year. So I was really just shy of getting that public relations degree, and I was out of cards. I was like, you know what, I'm going to finish getting my college degree. I've gone through pro rodeoing, college rodeoing, and then, you know, trying to, you know, work with all these teachers. There'd be no point for me not to get it now. So it was something that I needed to do for myself, and, you know, obviously I can't rodeo forever, so. And it's really helped me in my rodeo career, too, being a public relations major. It's easier to talk to the public. I don't get really shied away. And you just learn how to be camera respectful, I guess, in a way. And you just know how to talk to people, and you don't have to be awkward. So
that's Tim O'Connell, and that's part of our interview we had with Tim. You can hear more of that interview on the Missouri Valley Facebook page as well. We'll edit that and have part of that. But he is a world champion bareback rider, PRCA, and Missouri Valley College Glad to have him with us. Joe will have the second half. It's 41-32. The Vikings trail. This broadcast copyrighted by the Mass Communications Department of the Communications, Humanities, and Human Service Division of Missouri Valley College for the private use of our audience. Any retransmission of the use of the content of the broadcast without the express written consent of Missouri Valley College is prohibited. Big thanks to everyone at Marshall, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram providing transportation when we're on the road. Speaking of something going on, the second half's underway, Joe.
Ken, I think we can keep Jeremy Deemer under control this second half. Vikes can get back in this thing. And that time they bottle him up inside. Double team, and Deemer misses the shot. Vikes get the rebound. There goes Remy Price into the corner to Gronwald. Head of the key, Lemire. Good ball movement to the right baseline. Brody, somebody bumped him.
Brody.
That's going to be a foul on Deemer, I think, as Deemer looks like he stuck an elbow into Brody, and Brody gets up gingerly. I don't know if he turned an ankle or what there. Did they not? I thought they called a foul on Deemer. Maybe not.
No, since that the ball, I don't know. Just knee contact or whatever.
Brody looks like he's going to try to shake it off. He'll stay out on the court. Now they get the ball out to him. He dribbles head of the key, guarded by Semino. Now Price drives in. There's a reach foul. And I think maybe that's going to be, we'll see. Looks like Carl Martin was right there. That's who it's on. Carl Martin gets called for the reach foul. That's his second foul. Now Brody's hobbling right now. He'll come out, and Tim Washington comes into the Viking lineup. Tim goes baseline. Now goes to the rack. At it partially blocked. Rebound Deemer. Semino quickly across the timeline. Number 11 guarded by number 20, Bobby Collins. Greigel head of the key to Martin. Greigel gets it back. Fakes a three. Hands back to Semino. Got to stay on him. He launches a three. I think Collins might have got a piece of that. I'm not sure, but he missed the shot. Washington gets the rebound. No Valley on the run. Down by 9. Now Price drives down the middle, and somebody reaches over and grabs him, and that's going to be a foul, I think. Is that Deemer?
I think that is
Deemer
on
or Greigel?
Deemer.
Deemer. That's Deemer. That's his second. So Jeremy Deemer, kind of a reach foul on Remy Price. Vikes will inbound. Nobody's scored yet in the second half. Vikes bring it out, head of the key. Remy hands out to Darrell. Lemire on the left wing to Washington. Graceland looks like they're going to stay in that zone. Now Martin knocks it away. That's Carl Martin, knocks it away. Dylan Martin tries to save it for Graceland, but can't. It goes out of bounds. It'll go back to Missouri Valley. And Ken, really looking at the fact that Graceland shot 63%, the Vikings only 35%. Kind of fortunate to be within 9 here, really.
Yeah, the way they were shooting the ball is still anybody's game.
Now Price throws up an off-balance shot, drove inside amongst the trees. Rebound, Dylan Martin. Semino, good ball movement by the Jackets, down to Greigel. Likes playing much better defense. There's a three by Semino. I said that, and Semino knocks down a three. He's a good shooter. That's his second triple of the game. Give him 8 points. A little pressure by the Yellow Jackets. Lemire, or Collins, hands over to Lemire. Now Washington gets it on the left wing to Remy Price. Remy takes it head of the key back to Kyle. Wrap around into Collins. Bobby's jump hook good. Tell you, Bobby getting better and better with that little jump hook in the lane. He's got 8 points now. Back to a 10-point game. Carl Martin picked up by Collins right in front of the Graceland bench. There's Greigel inside. Nice turnaround shot. Kind of a spin move, fake to the right, then spun back to the left. Nice soft touch, and Greigel's got 7. Now the Vikes throw it away against the press.
Here's a score for you. William Penn defeated Baker 95-93 in double overtime.
Wow. Was that played in Baldwin City?
I think that was, I believe that was in Oskaloosa, I think.
I tell you, Baker's playing much better. Their men, I think, were 8-8 coming into today's play. Lob down toward Deemer. Good job by the Vikes. Darrell Lemire sinks over from the backside, gets the steal. Lemire drives inside, might have got away with a walk. Now Hickey, a jump shot in the lane, no good. And Lemire tries to save it but can't, so ball out of bounds back to the Yellow Jackets. They lead it by 12 with 17-16 left to play in the game. Price, Hickey, Collins, Gronwald, and Lemire, the 5 on the floor. Not a lot of height out there for the Vikings right now. Semino, fall away jump shot baseline, off balance, and Deemer gets the offensive rebound, and he's going to be fouled by Collins. So
the Vikings had 2 players on him. You had Darryl Lemire, 6'3". Collins, they listed 6'3". We're thinking he's more like 6'1".
Yep.
And he's a big guy. Deemer's just a big guy, and he's just hard to stop in there.
And he went up that time and took all three of the guys halfway up to the bucket with him. All right, Deemer will have 2 shots right here. Shot was missed by Semino, but Deemer got the rebound and got the foul. So Deemer knocks down the first free throw, give him 16 points in the game. As we're under 17 minutes left, Deemer will have one more. Jeremy Deemer, trying to see. Yeah, I said he hails from Lamona, Iowa, right there, the home of Graceland. So a hometown product. Not sure if he played ball at the high school there or what, but he misses the second free throw. And good hustle by Dylan Martin for Graceland. Tried to save it, but they say, I believe he was out of bounds. So it'll go back to Missouri Valley. Missouri Valley down by 13 here at home. Hickey back to Price. Kyle had the hot hand in the first half. He had double figures with 10. Price back to Kyle. Kyle thinks about a 3. Now gets it head of the key to Brody. Brody right wing, Remy Price. Price picked up by Carl Martin. Down to 9 on the shot clock. Grodewald in the lane underneath the Obanecki, and Chisholm slams it. Good pass that time by Grodewald. He spun inside, flipped it to Chisholm Obanecki. Chisholm goes up and flushes it home. Give him 6. It's an 11-point game. Deep 3, Carl Martin, good.
Wow.
So Carl Martin knocks down his second triple of the game. He's got 6. There's that little pressure by Graceland. Doesn't bother the Vikings, though, as Remy gets it across the timeline. Gronwald back to Remy, head of the key. Remy on the left wing to Hickey. Graceland still in that zone. Now Price right through the middle of the zone. Had it knocked away, now taken away by Dylan Martin. Here come the Yellow Jackets on the run. Martin back outside to the other Martin, Carl. Coach Craig Doty wants the Yellow Jackets to slow it down, run some clock here with a double-digit lead. Deemer, or Greigel tried to lob it into Deemer. Had it knocked away by Obanecki. Here comes Chisholm, coast to coast. And he's going to be fouled by Greigel, I think, as Chisholm Obanecki got that rebound, took it coast to coast, and he's going to be on the line for 2 shots as Greigel picks up his first foul. Chisholm Obanecki, he's a junior out of Rowlett, Texas. Stands at 6'5". He'll have 2 shots here. 15:33 left. First shot in the air, good. Chisholm with 7 points in the game. Tim Washington comes in for the Vikings. Remy Price takes a seat. Obanecki will have one more. Chisholm will try to make it a 12-point game. Missed it. So Obanecki gets 1 out of 2. The lead still 13 for the Jackets. 15.5 minutes left to play in regulation here. Martin hands out to R.J. Williams, who's back in now. Grayson running a little bit of a weave outside, a little bit of a roll. Martin, high post to Dylan Martin. Might have got away with a walk. Now Dylan Martin flips and throws it out of bounds. So maybe that's justice. I thought Martin shuffled both feet. Pressure by the Jackets. Mike's done a pretty good job against his zone press. Gronewald in the right wing. Brody backs it into the corner to Collins. Now Hickey outside. Tim Washington on the left wing. Tim stop and go through the middle. Had it knocked away. And they say it's going to be off for one of the Vikings out of bounds.
You know what? Something else I noticed about this team, quick hands, because how many times today have we seen that the Vikings trying to go in the lane and not blocking a shot, but just somebody getting a hand in there and slapping that thing off somebody's knee. They're a pretty quick team. This is a good team.
They are a good team. Jordan Dembley and L.T. Davis check back into the Graceland lineup. Dembley hands it outside to Martin, Dylan Martin, that is. Dembley, a deep 3 with the left hand off the side, no good. And somebody clocked Tim Washington in the face on the rebound. Washington got the rebound, and I think Tim took it, not intentional. I think he just took maybe an elbow or a finger or something to the eye. So the officials stop play right here. 14 minutes and 30 seconds left to play.
He's still rubbing that right eye. So, somebody might have poked him in the finger in there.
50-37. Graceland's led the entire way. The Jackets led it by 9, 41-32 at intermission. Vikes got off to a slow start. They've hung around pretty well, though. There's a jump shot out of the corner by Collins. Good. Bobby Collins. Boy, Bobby having one of his best offensive games. He's in double figures now with 10. It's an 11-point game. Coach Chad Lance trying to encourage the teams to play some D. And boy, now Tim Washington takes it away from Dimbley right in front of us. Quite a bit of contact, but they say it's going to be Viking ball.
Knocked it away, and Dimbley dove for it and knocked it out of bounds on the sideline there.
14:06 left to play in regulation. Vikes can make it a single-digit game with a basket here. Brody Gronwald. Brody still looking for his first points of the game. We keep saying that. Maybe he'll score here quickly. There's a shot by Hickey. Comes off the left side. And Ken Graceland, obvious. They want to make the Vikings shoot outside. That's kind of been the defensive game plan all day for them, I think. And now a nice take is L.T. Davis. Takes it into the middle of the lane, kind of a little teardrop runner. Knocks it in. He's got 4. He averages over 17 points a game.
The other thing is the Vikings playing 7 players. That's really about it on their bench. Cochran's in for about a minute, so they've got to wear down a little bit here.
Now Collins inside. Oh, Bobby goes up strong. Nice move by the 6'3" post man. That's going to be a foul inside, I think, on L.T. Davis. So L.T. picks up his second foul. That's a 2-shot foul as Bobby Collins will head to the line for 2. Bobby, a sophomore out of St. Louis. He'll have 2 right here. BC bends, left it short. He will have 1 more. Bobby with 10 points in the game. Try to make this a 12-point game if he can knock down this second free throw. Collins' second shot, got it. So Bobby gets 1 out of 2, give him 11. 13:20 left, 52-40. Graceland leads it. Yellow Jackets scored like 28 points in the first 10 minutes. Vikes have cooled them off since then. Deemer, had it knocked away by Hickey, now taken away by Obanecki. Hickey on the right wing, goes to the basket, got it. Nice take that time, and I think Craig Doty's seen enough. Or is that Chad? I'm not sure who called that timeout. I don't know, but we do know this. Kyle Hickey got the ball on the right wing, took it right to the rack. It's timeout Vikings. So good job by Hickey. We got a 10-point game.
Well, that percentage still up there for Graceland, 60%, but they've cooled off a little bit. 21 out of 35. The Vikings, 15 out of 39. Still only 2 out of 12 from beyond the arc, but playing a little bit better here in the second half. 16 turnovers for Graceland now. Yeah. The Vikings with 10, and that's been kind of a key here. And the Vikings are back within 10. They got to keep this momentum going.
I think the first 3 minutes of the game, Graceland shot about 120%.
They were unbelievable. Unbelievable. Vikings have been fighting their way back ever since.
Yeah, they're playing. Vikes are hanging around here, though. There's no quitting this team. They're going to battle right down to the wire and playing much better defense now, I think, than they did early on. Graceland ball, 13 minutes left to go. Vikes have been in that man-to-man most of the game. Dimbley gives it outside to L.T. Davis. Right wing, Dylan Martin. Deemer wants the ball inside. Vikes double teaming Deemer on that low post. That's what they've got to do down there. Doing a good job of it at the moment. LT pulls up for a jumper, left it short, but Deemer gets the offensive rebound up and in.
Wow, just too big, just too much muscle there.
Give Deemer 18 points in the game. He got loose for the offensive rebound, makes it a 12-point lead once again. High post it goes. Obanecki inside. Little jump hook comes up short. I tell you, Dylan Martin's made some good plays for Graceland today. He had the save right there. Now Dimbley drives him with the left hand. Very athletic move there as Jordan Dimbley goes all the way in, flips it in with the left hand. That's his first bucket. 14-point game. Hickey. Washington thinks about a 3. Gives back to Brody. Brody's deep 3. Pinball's out. Offensive rebound, Washington, and he drives in. And I think that's going to be a foul on Dylan Martin. Dylan Martin picks up the foul. That'll be his first. And that's going to put Tim Washington on the line for 2 shots here.
You know, you just watch, look at Bobby Cobb. Boy, he's tired. These guys are playing a lot of minutes because you just don't have that many players on the bench right now. But, Joe, the thing is you just can't let this team get another run at you. It's too hard to come back. Get it within 10 If you let them get up 16-18 again, it's just really going to be tough to come back.
Well, Tim Washington knocks down the first one. He'll have one more here. The right-hander puts it in the air, and Tim got them both. And Tim Washington, again, is a junior out of Chicago, Illinois. Buries both free throws, give him 6 in the game. 12-point game. Graceland on top. Just under 12 minutes left to play in regulation here. Now Washington's going to get whistled for reaching around outside, so Tim picks up his second foul. That's team foul number 2 on the Vikings. Graceland has 5 here in the second half. Vikes only 2, so Dimbley will trigger it in for Graceland. Gets it into Martin, head of the key. Right wing, it comes over to L.T. Davis. High post, Dylan Martin, wrap around into Deemer, who had it blocked that time. Kyle Hickey doubled down and partially blocked that shot by Jeremy Deemer, but they say Kyle got a pretty good piece of the arm, so that'll put Deemer on the line for 2 shots here.
Good job by Kyle. He probably maybe got a little body contact there.
Mike's really doing a pretty good job collapsing on Deemer right now, but he's just so big and so physical. You can contain him for a while, but he's got some skills. Deemer's first shot short. So Deemer will have one more here with 11:31 left. Bobby Collins comes out. Remy Price comes back in for the Missouri Valley Vikings.
So you bring out 6'3" and bring in 5'10", right?
Yeah, yep.
Line up be a little shorter.
Second shot by Deemer as the Viking cheerleaders yell. He knocks it down. So give Deemer 19 in the game. Makes it a 13-point lead once again for Graceland. We'll be on the road Monday night, be in Baldwin City, Kansas, to take on a Baker team that sounds like they battled William Penn right down to the wire on the road today. Washington thinks about a 3, gives it to Brody. Brody's 3 in the air. Got it! That's a good sign right there. Brody knocks down his first basket of the game. That's a triple. So Brody Gronwald buries one from the right wing, pulls the Vikings back to within 10. Get him hot, Ken. We can get back in this thing pretty quick. L.T. Davis into Greigel. Greigel off the glass, too strong. Guess who gets the offensive rebound? Deemer. And I say Deemer bounced it off his knee out of bounds. So Deemer looked like he was in line for another stick back, but he tried to put it on the floor and bounced off his knee, and the Vikings get it back.
Chad trying to give a couple guys a few minutes break here with 10 minutes to go.
This Graceland team really pretty deep, too. Now Washington drives inside, had it partially blocked by Deemer, and they're going to say that's a tie-up. They say that was a good block that time by Jeremy Deemer. It'll be Viking ball with the alternate possession. Obanecki, Lemire, Washington, Gronwald, and Remy Price, the 5 on the floor for the Vikings right now. Obanecki inbound on the baseline. Oh, wide open. Somehow Tim Washington sneaks inside but has it knocked away. Looked like that was going to be an easy bucket for a minute, but a good defensive play by the Jackets. Oh, nice cut by Dylan Martin. Missed the layup. Martin cut down that baseline, got the pass, tried to shoot the reversal and missed it. Gronwald with another 3. Got another one. Hey, there's another good sign. Brody Gronwald's knocked down his last 2 shots. This is the closest, Ken, the Vikes have been in a long time. They're back within 7 with 10:13 left to play. Dimbley almost has it knocked away. I've called him Wembley, Timbley, everything under the sun here. Greigel spins. Greigel up, missed it. Rebound, Tim Washington. The Vikes really getting it done on the defensive end right now. Nice pass to Obanecki, good. Tim Washington throws a bullet pass into Chisholm Obanecki. Chisholm lays it in, and folks, we've got a 5-point game.
5-point game, timeout coming for the Yellow Jackets.
Now Gronwald gets a steal. Brody pulls up for a 3. Got it! Brody Gronwald knocks down another 3. Timeout Graceland, as Brody, who did not score till about 3 minutes ago, has knocked down the last 3 shots he's taken. They've all been 3-pointers, and just like that, we've got a 2-point game with 9:34 left to play.
How about L.T. Davis knew that Coach Doty wanted a timeout, so he was just dribbling across the half-court line. He was going to call timeout. Very nonchalant, and Brody just picked his pocket, stopped and took a 3. and buried it. How about that?
One thing we've noticed, at least at home, this Missouri Valley team, a much better second-half team than they are first-half team. Remember the Benedictine game, the first game after Christmas? What were we down, 19 at halftime? 19 at halftime, and came back and won that one in overtime. The Vikings here tonight, we've got a long time left, but they were down. I think they've been down by as many as 14 points. And right now, we've got a 2-point game with 9.5 minutes left to play.
Well, the Vikings scored 664 points in the first half this year, coming in 783 in the second. So they like the second half.
Yeah, they seem to take them a while to maybe get going. All right, Vikes apply a little pressure. Carl Martin back in the lineup for Graceland. Martin gets it across to Semino. Boy, that couple of quick guys, Carl Martin and Remy Price, both wear number 10, going at each other. Now Tim Washington knocks it away from Greigel. Here comes Gronwald. Now ball knocked away. Brody gets it back, though. Head of the key to Washington. Vice can tie. They can take the lead with a 3 right here. Remy Price back to Washington. Tim back to Remy. Remy goes baseline, runs into Deemer, gets it inside, and Obanecki misses another dunk. That's 2 slams Chisholm's missed here this afternoon.
Lay it off the glass.
Greigel with a 3. Missed it. Offensive rebound, R.J. Williams.
An offensive foul.
And they're going to say, I think R.J. Williams went over the back on the rebound. So R.J. Williams picks up his 3rd foul. Good screen out by the Vikings. It'll be Missouri Valley's ball down to 8:48 left. 57-55 Graceland. Remy Price, and they're going to say Remy did. He walked. Remy took a little hop step right there, right in front of the Graceland bench. Not really that much pressure, but he did shuffle the feet.
He almost got away with it, and at the last moment, the official said, I've got to call that.
You and I saw it, but we were not going to say a word.
Remy knew it.
All right, Graceland ball. Martin, high post to Greigel. Greigel backdoor cut by Williams, and now climbing up on Williams' shoulder. Williams made a little head and shoulder fake right there. Got Obanecki up in the air, and Chisholm fouls him. That'll be Chisholm's first foul in the game, and that'll be a non-shooting foul. That's only the 4th foul this half on the Vikings. Yellow Jackets to inbound. Williams, Remy goes for a steal, almost got it from Semino. Vikes looking quicker than Graceland right now. Graceland looked very quick in the first half, but right now the Vikings getting a lot of the loose balls, really playing hard on the defensive end. R.J. Williams with a 3. This one pinballs out. Rebound, Grodwald saves it. Here come the Vikings. Remy Price, Washington for the lead. Left it short.
Right on line.
Tim Washington had a look from 3-point land, left it a little bit short as we're down under 8 minutes to go. Williams, head of the key, Semino. Back to Williams. Williams is 3 off the left baseline, good. So R.J. Williams knocks down his first triple of the game, give him 7, extends the lead back to 5. There's that press by Graceland. Oh, there's a steal by Greigel. Greigel slams it, didn't miss it.
He didn't miss his dunk, did he?
So Greigel got the steal, broke loose, slammed it home. And Graceland scored the last 5. They've opened up a 7-point lead.
All right, don't let them get this thing back to double.
Turnaround jump shot inside. Tim Washington, nice job as Timmy blanks it off the glass. Used that backboard well. There's coming the other way, a 3 by Semino, and Deemer just goes right over the back of Washington.
That's a pretty easy foul to call. That's his 3rd.
And Jeremy Deemer. You can get some offensive rebounds, young man, but that was a foul that time.
And it's a 1-and-1. That's
a 17 fouls. Deemer picks up his 3rd foul. So that's going to put Tim Washington on the line for a 1-and-1 right here with 7 minutes, 11 seconds left to play, a 5-point game. Tim on the night, I'm not going to tell you what he is. I don't want to jinx him.
Okay. Well, the Vikings as a team right now are 75%, 12 out of 16.
I'll give you a hint. Tim's better than that.
Okay, good.
All right,
Graceland
Timmy.
Only 5 out of 9 from the line.
Tim will have a 1-and-1 right here as that was a rebounding foul on Deemer. Washington's first shot in the air. Got it.
There you go.
So I'll say it now. He's 5 out of 5. And he'll have one more right here. So Tim can make this a 1-possession game if he can knock down this second charity toss. Washington, Hickey, Obanecki, Gronwald, and Bobby Collins. Price is out there right now. Bobby Collins checks in, and Tim Washington, who just knocked down those 2 free throws, takes a seat. It's a one-possession, 3-point game with 7:11 left. The Vikes have never led in this game. This is as close as they're within 2 a minute ago.
Chad trying to give everybody a minute or 2 break here in the 7-man rotation.
Now Martin outside to Williams. Might have got away with a walk. Gets it on the baseline to Carl Martin. Down to 9 on the shot clock for Graceland. Price right up in Washington in Martin's face. Carl Martin pulls up for a 3. Missed it. Good defense that time by Remy Price, but guess who? Got the offensive rebound, but he has it taken away. Here comes Remy to Hickey for the tie. Rolls around the rim and comes out. Boy, Kyle Hickey got a good look that time. It rolled around the rim and then bounced out. Coach Chad Lance encouraging his team to keep playing the good defense. Down to 6:20 left in the game. Greigel now knocked away by Hickey. Kyle goes in. We got a 1-point game.
Yeah. And good job by Hickey. He thought about slam it. Nope, I'm going to lay it off the glass and take the sure two.
I think Kyle Hickey, more than anybody else, has gotten the Vikings going here. He's got 14 points in the game. At one point in the first half, he scored 10 straight Missouri Valley points. 1-point game. Vikes have never led. If they can get a stop at a basket, they could do that for the first time. Now Semino, nice spin by him as Semino comes right into the middle, throws up a teardrop, knocks it in. He's got 10, lead back to 3.
You just think if we could ever get the lead, it's going to really propel this team to get over the hump.
Price to Obanecki, left wing. Now Price will set it. Graceland's been in that zone. They're content with that zone. Now Gronwald in the lane. Brody got another one. He's a streak shooter, no doubt about it. He's hit his last 4 shots. He's got 11 right now, and he's got those 11 in about the last 3 minutes of the game. Vikes need a stop on defense. Again, just a 1-point game. Greigel fakes a shot. Out to Semino. They're going to call a hold underneath on one of the Vikings, I think. Obanecki, I think, got the foul. And that'll be the second on Chisholm.
Just the 15th foul, though.
Non-shooting. Oh, and somehow Greigel breaks wide open on the inbound pass. Nobody picked him up. He lays it in. Give him 11. It's a 3-point game. Gronwald. Now they call Brody for an offensive foul.
Brody just got a
Brody said something. So Brody Gronwald picks up an offensive foul. He drives down the baseline. They say he stuck his elbow out and then apparently said a little something to the official right there. So that's going to be a technical foul on Brody. I think that's going to be his first foul.
Yeah, first and second
First and second, yep. The T's do count as personal fouls.
I think he said that was awful, and the official said, well, this is awful, and teed him up.
Yep, so now it's going to put Carl Martin on the line. Carl will go to the line, and he hasn't been there yet tonight. He's knocked down a couple triples. He'll have 2 shots right here as he'll shoot the technical with 4:56 left to play. Martin's first shot good. He'll have 1 more. Carl is senior out of Blue Springs. We've seen a lot of him the last couple years, last 3 years with this Graceland. I think he's played for 3 different coaches the last 3 years.
I think so, too. All right, Martin hits them both. Now they'll just play on, so the Yellow Jackets will have the ball. That was the 7th foul, but it's an offensive foul, so it's not a shooting foul.
The Vikes were within 3. Now Martin knocks down both, so it's now a 5-point game, and now Graceland will have the ball. As said, just under 5 minutes left. Martin gets it across, picked up by Price, hands outside to R.J. Williams. Now there's that little weave, little roll out front by Graceland. Martin around a Deemer screen, down to the baseline to Williams, guarded by Hickey. Wrap around into Deemer, can't let him get inside, lays it in, and he's fouled. So Graceland got the look they wanted. They got it into the big guy, Deemer. He goes right at Obanecki. Chisholm fouls him, and that's going to be Chisholm's 3rd foul. And that'll put Deemer on the line, a chance for a 3-point play right here.
Boy, he just leaned into Chisholm, and there's nothing you could do to stop that. He's just strong.
Deemer's shot good, so I've got him. I think he's got 22 in the game.
He's had a big game for this club. 22 points.
22 for Deemer. It's now an 8-point game. It was 3 points just a minute ago and a 5-0 run for Graceland. Collins, nice fake Bobby. Bobby the jumper, left it short, and Obanecki goes up for the rebound. And they're going to call it on Chisholm, or they're going to call it on Graceland. I'm not sure who they call it on. Greigel, I think, and Obanecki looks like maybe he's shaking up on the play.
Second foul on Greigel.
That should put Obanecki hobbling right now. That should put him on the line for a 1-and-1. Chisholm, I don't know if he got a knee to the ankle or what happened right there, but he's kind of wincing in pain. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left as Gronwald gets set to check back in for Missouri Valley. Need a couple here, Ken.
Yes, he can't get any further behind.
8-point game. Obanecki's first shot, good. Got the roll. It danced on the rim and then dropped in, so Chisholm earns the bonus. Again, Obanecki is a junior who said out of Rolette, Texas. He'll have one more shot right here. Try to pull the Vikings back within 6, make it a 2-possession game. Second shot, it didn't hit anything, did it? Hit the side of the backboard.
Side of the back. One of those from 15 feet away. You don't want to talk about that one, but there's a timeout. And it's a good game, 71-64. The Yellow Jackets shooting percentage is down to 56%, so they've cooled off considerably here in the second half. The Vikings on the way up, 42% now, 22 out of 52. Vikings 5 out of 18 from 3, thanks to the 3 in a row by Brody here lately. And rebounds, the Vikings hanging in there, 28-25 rebound against a much taller team.
Yeah, doing a good job. And the Vikes have really clawed back. They've got back within 1. Got back within 1 point, and in fact had 1-3, I think, for the lead when they were down by 2, but just couldn't quite get over the hump yet. We've still got quite a bit of time left, 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. But been a good game, this Graceland team. And you remember, Graceland, I think, beat the Vikings by 22 up in Lamoni. So it's a good ball club, and they're 10-6, and they're ranked. They're in the top 25, I think, right now. And Coach Doty said probably after the last week or so they'll fall out of that, but they've had a good year.
And Graceland is fighting for one of those top 4 spots. The 3 teams that we have scores today ahead of them all won. William Penn, Benedictine, and Mount Mercy. We don't have the Grandview score yet. So they're battling for one of those top 4 spots. So this is a huge game for them. If they could sneak one out on the road.
Well, you got to think Grandview is going to get a win over Culver today, I would think.
Yeah.
Nothing's for sure, but for the Peru State women beat Mid-America, so who knows. All right, a little pressure by the Vikings, nearing the 4-minute mark. Get it ahead to Jeremy Deemer. Deemer inside, head of the key. Now backs it out to Carl Martin. Martin will set the offense. Over to Greigel. Greigel skip pass to Semino. Greigel gets it at the high post. Good ball movement. Deep 3 by Williams. Splash. R.J. Williams knocks one down. He's hit a couple big threes here in the last few minutes.
That was a big, big shot.
10-point game. 3:45 left. Now Remy goes through a double team. 3 by Washington. Off the heel of the rim. Gronwald. Good job by Brody to save it, but he saves it right to Deemer. Here comes Martin. Down to Williams. Deep 3 by Semino. Good. So big 3 by R.J. Williams, and now a big 3 by Frank Semino, and all of a sudden a 7-point game is a 13-point game.
Yeah, it was a 1-point game not that long ago.
Yeah, it was. Price to Gronwald. High post. Brody just inside the free throw line. Jumper comes up short. Rebound Semino. 3 minutes left. Williams wide open underneath, puts it in.
Well, I think here's where the fatigue factor comes in. You're
I
playing
think,
7 against their 11 guys.
And they've got 11 quality players, too.
Yes.
11 good players. Price outside to Collins. Bobby down the middle, tried to go over the top of Deemer, and he's going to be fouled. Again, I got my daughter Katie here. I'm glad she's come up to visit. We're going to have Christmas tomorrow, Christmas in January.
Huh?
Yeah, she's I'm thinking maybe she bought me a car. She's kind of been mum right now, so
maybe it is.
She's my pride and joy, and she's come up from St. Louis to be with us this weekend. First broadcast she's witnessed. All right, Bobby Collins was fouled. That foul was on Greigel. That was his 3rd, and Bobby knocks down the first free throw. Bobby's had a good game, Ken. I've got him at 12 points in the game. He'll have one more here. for his size, he plays
Yes.
very well against the big guys. Second shot by BC, good. So Bobby knocks down both free throws. It's a 13-point game. Almost an over and back, not quite. Now Deemer underneath, got it. So boy, Graceland playing right now like they did at the very start of the game, hitting everything they throw up.
Yeah, these possessions, the next couple possessions, Vikings absolutely need to score and get stops.
Hickey outside to Remy. Remy to Brody. Now tried to force it in, tried to get it into Lemire, and they say I think Deemer got a hand on it and knocked it out of bounds. So 2:18 left to play. 15-point game. It'll be Graceland ball underneath. And now Martin, the other Martin, Dylan Martin comes in. Jeremy Deemer takes a seat. Again, we're on the road at Baker on Monday. Our next home game will be next Thursday night as Evangel comes in here. Now Kyle Hickey cranks into the basket, lays it in. Good move by Kyle. He's got 16, lead down to 13. Pressed by the Vikings. Graceland gets it across. Carl Martin, right wing Williams. Craig Doty wants him to slow it down. Under 2 minutes to go in the game. A 13-point game right now.
He been a pretty cool customer on the front.
Yeah, he doesn't get too excited, does he? No. He's done a good job with this bunch this year. Williams, Gronwald almost got a hand on it. Now RJ pulls up for another three. Missed this one. Rebound Semino. Semino gets the offensive rebound. That's a fresh 30 on the shot clock, and that's exactly what the Vikings did not need right there with 1:30 left in the game. Looks like the Vikes very well could fall to 8-8 in conference play with that trip to Baker on Monday. Jump shot out of the corner by Greigel. No good. Rebound Collins. Down to 112. Remy Price. Baseline. Lemire. Darrell gets under behind the basket. Tried to shoot that one over the backboard. You ever see anybody hit a shot from back there?
Larry Bird used to
Larry
Bird make that shot.
It's a foul. I mean, he got forced back there. It was not by design, but Darrell tried to arch that one up, tried to get it in between the backboard and the shot clock that hangs about 2 feet above the backboard.
You're about 3 feet from baseline to that backboard, and he had room to get back there and flip it over the top.
Darrell hits the first free throw, so nice job by DL. He'll have one more. Like I say, Vike's going to have to really mount a monumental comeback right here. 12-point game with 1:05 left to play. Second shot, Lemire, good. So Darrell knocks down both free throws. He's got 6 in the game. Vikes put the pressure on. Semino outside to Carl Martin.
And the Vikings aren't going to foul here.
I tell you, though, Ken, what a comeback by this Viking team. They were down by 14 or so points and then got it back to within 1, but just couldn't, like you say, I think the Vikes just wore down, only playing about 7 players, and Graceland about 11, 12 deep, and the numbers made the difference down the stretch. There's a deep three by Semino, good. So down to 34 seconds. And I'm not sure who's the best player on this Graceland team. They've got a lot of weapons.
Deemer's pretty good. He's pretty solid in that middle.
Yes, he is. Gronwald off the baseline. Brody missed this one. He's been hot lately, but missed this one. Now Collins, nice offensive rebound by Bobby, and Bobby goes up, and he's going to be fouled with 22 seconds left to play. So the Yellow Jackets are going to move their record to 11-6, as they'll remain one of the top teams in the conference. Vikes will be even Steven at 8-8, with 3 big conference games coming up this next week.
Baker on the road at Baker, not going to be an easy game at all. Then home against Evangel and on the road at Mid-America. So 3 good Heart of America Conference games.
Greigel just fouled out of the game as Collins missed the first free throw. Coming in for the first time, I think, tonight, that's Brandon Banks. Brandon Banks comes in for Graceland. He's a junior out of Wichita, Kansas. 22 seconds left in the game. Collins will have one more. Second shot by BC, good. So Collins gets 1 out of 2. Bobby's got a 14-point game. Graceland gets it across. Coach Chad Lance, I don't think wants the troops to foul. Just going to let the Jackets run it out. Now Banks takes a 3, missed it. Rebound Deemer, and that's going to do it, I think. So Graceland's going to come into Marshall. They're going to sweep the season series as they knock off the Vikings 84-71. Pretty impressive performance overall by this Graceland team.
Real impressive. They really led from start to finish. We'll take a break. Be back with the coach and the scoring in just a moment.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Getting support from friends online kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
Instead of smoking after I ate, I'd get up and take a walk.
I missed having a cigarette in my hand, so I'd hold a pen or a straw, anything.
Until I knew I wouldn't give in to temptation, I spent more time with my friends who didn't smoke.
I went to places that were smoke-free.
I didn't stay quit the very first time I tried.
I kept on trying, and I learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
I quit.
I quit.
I quit.
We did it, so can you.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
We are back to Grover C. Redford Gymnasium, Missouri Valley College campus. Final score 84-71 as the Yellow Jackets win this game. Again, the other men's scores we have: Benedictine over Clark 67-63. It was William Penn knocking off Baker in double overtime today, 95-93. And Mount Mercy over Evangel, 76-63. Chad Lance joins us for a couple minutes. And, Coach, your 7-man rotation, and I made the comment late, you make this great comeback, get within one. I thought you just run out of gas. That's tough. That's a good ball club, a deep ball club you played today.
Yeah, we did. We ran out of gas because we got to the game and we had a quarter tank of gas in our engine, so we wasn't ready to play today. You know, when you got 7 guys, there should be 7 guys excited and happy to play, and we just didn't have that today. We just didn't have any enthusiasm. We didn't have any excitement. We didn't have any spark, and you know, they came out and zoned us. Using the scores, I mean, we've had 101, I think 96, and another 100-point game in there, so we've been scoring a lot of points. So. They didn't want to get up and down and score tons of points with us, so they went zone, and we were completely out of sorts. It's been a while since we've seen some zone, and obviously our field goal percentage wasn't great. So
that was a lot better in the second half than it was the first. You must have given pretty good talk at the half. You were in the 34% at halftime and moved up to 41. They were red hot, though. They shot 60-some% in the first half.
Yeah, well, they were taking practice shots. I mean, they were 13 of 17 from the 2 at the first half, so they missed 4 field goals, and then I think they were 4 of 10 from the 3. So they missed 9 shots the whole first half. So I mean, obviously we had a lot to do with that too.
Bobby Collins, he gives everything out of his 6'2", 6'3" frame he's got, doesn't he? Battling there with those guys.
I mean, he does, but at the end of the day, I mean, we know where we are. We've got to be able to find ways to make it happen. No excuses. We've got to be a better ball club.
Coach, next week, 3 games. You go to Baker. You know, they lose in Oskaloosa today by 2 in double overtime. So, you know, that's not the old Baker team we're used to. And then you come home against a very good Evangel team and back on the road. So I'll tell you what, it is you're going to get some gas in these guys' tanks. You're playing with a 7-man rotation. Just another day, and you're right back on the road.
Yeah, we do. I mean, I don't know what the answer is, but I think they're going to have to figure it out.
All right, Coach, we'll see you Monday.
All
right, thanks, buddy. Chad Lance joins us for a few moments. The Vikings today end up shooting 41%, 23 out of 56. Graceland 56%, as they were 33 out of 59. Vikings 77% from the line, 20 out of 26. Let's take a look at the. Let's take a look at the scoring, and then we'll wrap things up from here. But Joe, you got the statistic right in front. How about the scoring of this ball game?
Let me get my mouthpiece back here. We got it. All right, let's take a look. Well, good effort by the Vikings. Like we said, they came back. They were down double digits. Good part of the first half. Battled back, got within 1, but I think depth did make a big difference for Graceland. For the Vikings, good balanced scoring, 4 players in double figures. Kyle Hickey wound up with 16. Good game for him. Kyle was 6 of 10 from the floor for the game. Also in double figures was 14 out of Bobby Collins. And Bobby played inside against some pretty big dudes and held his own, like say, 14-point double-figure game for him. 11 points for Brody Growald. And the thing, that's not big numbers for Brody, but Brody didn't score until probably about 7 or 8 minutes into the second half. Knocked down 3 threes, got a runner in the lane. He wound up with 11. Also 10 for Tim Washington. 16 for Hickey, 14 for Collins, 11 for Growald, 10 for Tim Washington. 6 points each for Remy Price and Daryl Amir. 8 points for Chisholm Obanecki inside. For Graceland, we talked about their balance. Big guy for them today, though, Jeremy Deemer, a double-double for him, 24 points, 10 rebounds, 7 offensive rebounds for Deemer. He was a force on the offensive boards. So, again, Deemer leads away with 24, 16 in the game for Frank Semino. He knocked down 4 shots from beyond the arc. Looks like 12 points for R.J. Williams. He had some huge shots as Graceland put the game away there at the end. Then 11 for the other big guy, Ben Greigel. He finally fouled out, but he winds up with 11. 8 points in the game for Carl Martin. 7 for Dylan Martin. Looks like 4 points for L.T. Davis, who normally averages about 17. And then 1 basket in the game for Jordan Dembley.
All right, 3 games next week. We go to Baker on Monday, Evangel here Thursday, and then Mid-America next Saturday. So a busy, busy week. He's got to get these guys rested up.
They got to win. I mean, we got to win. We're down now to 500 and, 8-8. And one time, I think the Vikes, I think after that win against Benedictine, I believe they were 6-3 in conference play. So they've had some tough losses, some close losses. This team's still playing very well. They keep battling. We look back to the Peru State game, came out of nowhere, had a chance to tie, came out of nowhere here today and got back within 1. And, I know Coach Lance, boys will keep working, try to figure a way to get some of these games over the top.
84-71 is our final as the Graceland Yellow Jackets win at this broadcast. Copyrighted by the Mass Communication Department of the Communications, Humanities, and Human Service Division of Missouri Valley College. For the private use of our audience, any retransmission or the use of the content of this broadcast without the express written consent of Missouri Valley College is prohibited. Also, a big thanks to everyone at Marshall Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram for providing transportation for Joe and I when we're on the road covering Missouri Valley athletic events. So women win, men lose today. For Joe Alken, Guayava, so long from Marshall.